Hi, this is Maginoni. Here's some comic reviews for you. Let's start off with Detective Comics number 946. Now, this is the part 3, I believe it is, to the Victim Syndicate. And part 4. Now, the team is kind of jacked up mentally because you have Spoiler, she's having self-doubts. Clayface is feeling remorse. Batman's got some issues going on. And overall, I mean, this is, I guess you could almost say this issue is them kind of pulling together to take down the Victim Syndicate. But don't expect this big, let's hold hands by the campfire and sing songs type coming together. It's, basically they're able to handle each of their targets. But mostly this is the coming out of Spoiler, where she's finally comes to grips of whatever she's dealing with her issues, and she actually comes forth and actually is a lot more proactive, I guess you could say, at the end. Overall, the art's good. The fighting, it's at times it's okay. There's the thing that really pulls, I guess you could say, going back to Spoiler, is that she talks to an android or a cyborg of Tim Drake. And then he asks, basically, the one question is, like, what do you see as your world? And that's what is going to cause her to come out and figure out, what is it that she wants. Overall, it's a decent book. And I part of me would like to see more of this Victim Syndicate, but the way they handled the fights, it's kind of like, all right, these guys really aren't as powerful as they were started out. So I just kind of want to just move on to the next story. But so far it's a decent read. Suicide Squad number 8. They have to figure out what they're going to do with Zod. It's the last push before to trap Zod before he fully awakens. Overall, I think it's a decent ending to this storyline here. And at the very end, they set up the Killer Frost for the Justice League versus Suicide Squad story. Overall, like I said, it's decent. Art's good. We get Captain Boomerang back, and even though I thought that was a hokey way of bringing him back, but overall, I guess you could say I was satisfied. But it's not like what I would consider one of the best DC books, but it was decent. Hawkeye number 1. Now, if you're expecting to see superheroic action, not going to happen here. Basically, this version of Hawkeye is a private investigator who just happens to shoot. Excuse me. I have a cold right now, so I'm coming over it. Now, she's basically using her superhero type abilities to help her through her cases. And she has a very unique way of seeing the world where, like, everything is kind of pointed out like it's a target type thing. Now, her first case, though, is a college student comes to her and goes, hey, I'm a blogger, but I'm being cyberbullied by this one person who's just incredibly mean, nasty, and no matter what we do to try to prevent him from continuing the bullying, he just keeps coming back. So she's on the case for that. Now, while you're probably thinking to yourself, this does not seem like a typical SpiderMan book, you're right, but the way it ends, it kind of opens the door where there's something deeper to what's going on than what's being shown on the surface. The art's okay. It's definitely for a non-traditional superhero reader or a comic book reader. And I don't know. I mean, I'll get the next issue just out of curiosity to see how it's going to play out. Because I'm starting to enjoy these non-traditional type books where it's like, every Batman book for the most part is the same. Every Superman book is the same. Every Spider-Man book is the same. Every Avenger book is the same. So, when you look at something like this, it's different. Unique, different power sets, different way of handling situations, different way of handling supervillains, and that's why I'm more interested in that right now. So I'll probably get the next one. Uncanny Avengers. Now this is probably the best Avenger book that's out, and the battle with the Hulk, the zombified Hulk, continues. The fight was really good. Johnny Storm goes supernova on the Hulk. You have Elektra putting her size through the Hulk's eyes, and you have naked Hulk on fire rampaging. Everything was just This book was really solid. The art was good. The story was good. There's little dashes of humor with Deadpool. And then, but when this is over, you know, they mention all the different plot points that are still open. But the most important plot point is the Red Skull with Professor X's brain in it. And it looks like that's where they're going to go next. So overall, I'm really enjoying this book. And I hope it definitely can, when it goes into that next phase, I hope it does have that satisfactory ending. SpiderMan number 10. This deals with the fallout of the last issue of Civil War, where Miles and Captain America are on the state's capital, and they have Captain Marvel and Iron Man fighting. Now, it takes a long way to get to what happened. But it's basically Miles talking to his friends, like, this is what happened. And he goes through, I guess, a soul-searching type thing, a lot of self-realization. And overall, that part was really well done. My only complaint is they show you what happens at the end of the next issue of Civil War. So, that part to me was a little... Well, okay. Well, yes, we could figure things out based on what was happening in Superior Iron Man. Or whatever, I think it's called... Yeah, I think whatever that Doctor Doom Iron Man book is called. The problem is it kind of spoils it again. You know, just adds that extra layer of, hey guys, this is what happened. And for that, I'm like, this whole thing is just handled so poorly. And I think part of me is thinking, for at least for my personal enjoyment, the ending kind of ruined all the strengths of the beginning part. Because, I mean, it's nice to see the characters going through these kinds of issues. You know, and it just kind of like, all of that said and done, and, oh, spoiler. But it is what it is. Overall, it's still a good book. This is still my favorite book out of all the different Spider-Mans out there. And, I'll definitely keep reading it. Anyways, here's some reviews for you. Let me know what you guys enjoyed, what you guys didn't like. We'll have some more stuff later. Like, share, and until next time.